Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining the conversation. This is your host, CJ Ward, and I'm joined again with my co-host, Dana Branham. Dana, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I can't complain. Another day above ground, so it's a great day.
Hey, listen, we can talk about that all day. Yes, absolutely. It's a blessing to be here.
Absolutely. So now here again, a Conscientious Conversation is termed as a conversation that only requires two or more willing individuals, an open and honest conversation, a conversation with the intent of improving the quality of life for the entire country and not just a select group of this United Nation. So let us have a seat and discuss. So today, Dana and I are joined by the awesome, the dynamic, the talented Miss Sondra Slade. How you doing today, Sondra?
Hey, thank you all for having me on.
Hey, Sondra.
Hey. Hey, girl. I like that. Hey, girl. I always want to use it.
Yes.
I knew you two would get along, so it's great to see that.
Of course.
So, yes, Miss Slade. My apologies, Miss Slade.
You don't have to keep calling me that. That's okay. My mom
okay,
called me.
It's all about respect over here, so just try to make sure. But would you mind introducing yourself to the people? I know you have you literally wear a lot of hats, so definitely would like you to introduce yourself to the folks.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am a stand-up comedian, a storyteller. I also host a podcast, Laughter and Lyrics. I write funny stories for Focus Black Oklahoma. And occasionally I'm a mom. That's on occasion when my teenager feels like it. I also write short stories for different articles. So that's in a nutshell what I do. And then I host comedy shows and storytelling events.
Awesome.
And a corporate job on top of all of that. So yeah.
You talk about wearing hats. I think she has more hats than I have. And I have a lot of hats that I'm trying to get rid of some of them.
I do. I've learned a lot. I'm like, now instead of a hat, I'm just going to wear a wrap and unwrap it when I feel like it.
Right. I may have to take that on, like have it a little bit and then take it back. Mm-hmm.
Take it back, yes.
Got it.
Absolutely. So as everyone has just heard, a woman of many talents, skill sets, and expertise. So actually, would you mind me sharing the story of how we met and everything?
Oh, well, that was my first art showing. I didn't mention artists, did I? Yeah, I do art and jewelry. So, because I have nothing else to do but live life, and this is great. I mean, and that was my first art showing, and I luckily met Mr. Ward, who is a phenomenal artist. So I felt like throwing my stuff in the trash, but it was still sitting out there. You got to try. He gave me the yay, good try, and I was like, oh, so I got like one of the gold stars, but it was good.
Wow.
But then I met him through. I mean, it happens. That was my first time, so that was a whole new medium I had never tried, and I was nervous, but met Mr. Ward, and he told me it was at the Tulsa Remote group, and as a Tulsa native, it kind of threw me off, like, why are they bringing people in here and we got people? Mm-hmm. That was my first thought, and then I thought about, like, wait a minute, what are they bringing to the table? They're bringing all different kinds of arts, their creative sense, a fresh look at life. I lived in Atlanta for a lot of years, so I grew up somewhat in Tulsa. I grew up in Atlanta when I came back, and I'm thinking, it's a fresh start. It's sometimes you need a new lens. And I was like, okay, so a welcoming breath of fresh air that shines some light on some things in Tulsa that not even some Tulsa residents know.
Been through that?
Yes.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. So CJ, that reminds me of our conversation about exposure. Right.
Right.
And so when you just mentioned you were in Atlanta for a little while, of course, that exposes you to things that obviously the Tulsa natives, Tulsa, what would I say, non-travelers, would be exposed to. And that brings that lens that you're talking about back to the table. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it is not appreciated.
Yes.
Right. Yes. But then, you have to kind of make your mark. It's hard. Sorry to do that.
I mean, everyone that I've met through the Tulsa Remote program, I'm impressed and like, wow. And like, how do we keep you here? Because we have our own residents that are, the younger ones are getting ready to leave because they don't see what they bring to the table. They don't see what they could bring to the table. So I appreciate everyone here. I just wish they would do things a little differently with the Tulsa Remote, like introduce them to the culture, community. I'm gonna just put it like that. The actual people that are moving things in the community so that they can work together and actually make it a better place.
Okay.
I'm in total agreement. Prior to our meeting, which the art show that Ms. Slade is referring to is it was an exhibition with the Living Arts of Tulsa. And it's basically an exhibit speaking about the Tulsa race massacre since, the centennial and everything. So if it wouldn't have been for that, I'm not sure if we would have met or not. Because, I came there during the pandemic. A lot of things
I do a lot of different things, but I wouldn't have, naturally, comedy and art doesn't always go together. But fortunately, also, I had a show at the time that we had an artist and we would have comedians so that you could get two different exposures. So they have Mr. Ward on that, which that was a different kind of exposure. And artists do die of exposure that people don't talk about. Like, just do it for free. I was like, I can't do everything for free. Cops want their money on time. They don't care about my exposure. They want their money on time. When I have to pay my gas bill, I'm like, hey, I did 3 shows. They don't care. They
right.
Money. Right, they still want that money.
It's interesting you say that. I just made a decision. I've been doing something financially. I've been doing financial tips on Facebook, Instagram. Some used to be on LinkedIn even. For the span of 9 years, I took a year off when I was transitioning, moving, and I just decided the end of the year is it. I've been giving away all kind of free information.
Let me slide in there real quick. Let me slide.
You got 3 weeks, sis.
I got 3 weeks. Okay.
No, but for real, it's I wouldn't mind to do it. But when I kind of evaluate how much time and effort am I putting out?
Yes.
And I'm not in a position to advise and get business right now. But when I was, people were sucking up the information, right? And then when it was time to do business, they didn't do business with me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. So I've already tempered from that point, but even now I'm thinking, no, I got to make a shift and do something different with that so that I can live.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I get it. You can't do things for free all the time.
No, I mean, I do some shows for free, of course. Yeah. But at the bulk, I also produce shows and I have to be responsible for paying people. So they don't want to go home just saying, hey, I got on this show and this helps. I was like, we need to pay it forward. And that was actually the whole point of Greenwood Black Wall Street is circulate our dollars amongst ourselves. And some of us have not learned that institution.
Yeah.
Nothing ever was handed, all about respect, never about ego. Wish I could have retired a long time ago and disappeared way beyond the trees. But my homies kept influencing me, said they needed to hear my lyrics, like my flow, cause they felt my spirit. Plus the people needed to hear it. A conversation with conscientious lyrics.